So I was talking to this boy. We was talking for like a couple months or whatever. So this day, he told me to follow this dude. So soon as we like get to the red light, we was at the red light, like all we had to do was just turn around and boom, you at the red light from where we was. So we get to the red light. He trying to put the location in my phone so we can go to where we was finna go. So it was shooting, but I didn't think that they was like shooting like at us, because while they were shooting, they were driving.
1:15 a.m., Birmingham, Alabama, January 10th, 2024. A 21-year-old woman named Mia Nixon is on Facebook Live. She's sitting in her car outside her house, just talking to her followers like she always does. Story time, tea time, normal stuff. But tonight's different. A man's voice cuts through the audio. "Yo, you set up my boy. Everyone knows what you did." Mia's not backing down. She's fighting back, defending herself. The argument gets heated. 1:35 a.m. The live ends. 1:45 a.m. Gunshots shatter the silence. When police arrive, Mia Nixon is lying dead in her driveway. 30 minutes. That's how long she had between being called a setup queen on live and taking her last breath. This isn't just another murder case. This is about how social media became a murder weapon. How accusations turned into executions. How someone used Facebook Live to basically put a hit on a young woman. And wait until you hear who they arrested for this, because this dude might be connected to 18 other murders. Welcome to True Crime Tales HQ. Before we get into the full story, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep update on our latest stories. Let me tell you about Mia Nixon, because the internet has been wild with theories about who she really was. On the surface, perfect girl, 21 years old, talented nail tech, dreams of opening her own salon, beautiful, ambitious, the kind of girl who could do your nails and your hair and have you looking like a whole snack. Her Instagram was fire, nail art that would make you spend your rent money, hair transformations that had people sliding in her DMs begging for appointments. She was that girl. But here's where it gets messy. December 2022, just over a year before she died. Mia's driving through Birmingham when boom, bullets start flying through her car. Multiple shots. One hits her right ear, exits near her eye. She loses hearing in that ear, sight in that eye. She posted about it on Facebook, and I'm going to read you her exact words because this is important. "I heard bullets flying through my car. Next thing I know, I woke up with my car wrapped around a tree. Doctor said if it had been an inch over, I'd be gone. God kept waking me up. It wasn't my time yet." Now listen, most people get shot at once. They move different. They stay low-key. They don't put themselves in situations where it could happen again. But Mia? 3 months before she died, she got arrested for drug trafficking, posted a $40,000 bond like it was nothing. Y'all, where does a 21-year-old nail tech get $40,000 cash? The streets started talking, and when the streets talk about a young, pretty girl with too much money and the wrong connections, they use a specific term: setup queen. Now, for those who don't know, a setup queen is a woman who uses her looks to lure dudes into situations where they get robbed or worse. She'll meet you at the club, act interested, get you to drive her somewhere private, and then her crew runs your pockets. Sometimes they take everything. Sometimes they take your life. The rumors about Mia being a setup queen were everywhere after she died. Social media was going crazy with people saying she got what came to her, that karma caught up to her, that she finally set up the wrong person. But here's the thing, and this is why this case is so messed up. Nobody ever proved she was actually doing this stuff. No victims came forward, no crew members got arrested who named her, no evidence she was actually setting people up. But in the streets, rumors become facts, and facts become death sentences. So when Mia went live that night, she wasn't just a nail tech defending herself. She was a woman who'd survived bullets before, who was fighting drug charges, who was dealing with rumors that could get her killed. And somebody was watching. Somebody was waiting. But here's the crucial part. The person who would eventually kill her wasn't the same person arguing with her on that Facebook Live. The man making the accusations that night might have nothing to do with her murder. The real killer was someone else entirely. Someone who saw an opportunity in the chaos or was hired. January 9th, 2024. Tuesday night, transitioning to Wednesday morning. Most people are asleep, getting ready for work the next day. But not Mia Nixon. She's outside her house on Greencrest Turn, sitting in her car, phone in hand, going live on Facebook. This is normal for her. She does these late-night story times, just talking to her followers, sharing what's on her mind. 1:15 a.m. The live starts. At first, it seems normal. Mia's just talking, probably venting about her day or whatever's bothering her. But then he shows up. A male voice cuts through the audio. "Yo, you set up my boy. Everyone knows what you did.
Stop playing games." Now, Mia could have ended the live right there. Could have ignored him. Could have blocked him and gone inside her house. But that's not who Mia was. She wasn't the type to back down from a fight, especially not in front of hundreds of people watching live. She fires back. She's defending herself, denying the accusations, telling this dude he's lying. The argument escalates fast. Viewers are watching this play out in real time, commenting, picking sides, recording the drama on their phones. This isn't just a private dispute anymore. This is public entertainment. But what the viewers don't realize is they're watching a death sentence being handed down live on Facebook. The man making the accusations never gives specifics. He doesn't say when this alleged setup happened, or where, or who exactly got set up. He's just throwing out general accusations. "You know what you did. Your time is up. We coming for you." And Mia's responding like someone who genuinely doesn't know what he's talking about. She seems surprised by the accusations, confused, asking him to explain what he means. Here's what's crazy. Investigators later said her responses seemed authentic, like she was hearing these set-up queen allegations for the first time. Either she was the world's best actress, or she really had no idea what this dude was talking about. 1:35 a.m. The live ends. But here's what we know next. Someone contacted her after that live ended. We don't know if it was a phone call, text message, or DM. But somebody convinced Mia Nixon to step outside her house at almost 2 a.m. Think about that. After being publicly threatened on Facebook Live, after some random dude basically put a target on her back in front of hundreds of people, Mia still felt safe enough, or was convinced, to leave her house. Did they tell her they just wanted to talk? Did they say they could clear up the misunderstanding? Did they pretend to be someone entirely different? 1:43 a.m. Neighbors hear what one later described as muffled conversation coming from Mia's driveway. Two voices, one female, one they couldn't identify. The conversation lasts less than 2 minutes. Then, gunshots. Multiple neighbors report hearing between 2 and 4 shots fired quickly. Mrs. Patterson, 3 houses down, looks out her window and sees a figure running from the Nixon home toward a car parked on the street. By the time she thinks to call 911, the car is gone. 1:45 a.m. First 911 call comes in. 1:47 a.m. Police arrive to find Mia Nixon dead in her driveway, 15 feet from her front door. From Facebook Live argument to murder, 28 minutes. From the end of her final broadcast to her final breath, 8 minutes. But the craziest part? This whole thing was planned. The Facebook Live wasn't just random drama. It was part of the murder plot. For over a year, Mia Nixon's murder was a cold case. No arrests, no suspects, just a young woman dead in her driveway and a family begging for answers. Then 2025 happened. Birmingham police arrested 22-year-old Damian McDaniel and charged him with Mia's murder. But y'all, when I tell you this dude's story is insane, Damian McDaniel wasn't just suspected in Mia's death. Police think he might be connected to 18 other murders across Birmingham. 18. This wasn't some dude who snapped one night. This was allegedly a serial killer who had been moving through Birmingham like death on wheels. Here's how investigators think McDaniel operated, and this is where it gets really disturbing. He would identify targets, often through connections or surveillance, and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. Unlike what many people assumed, McDaniel wasn't the person arguing with Mia on that Facebook Live. That was someone else entirely. Someone who had their own beef with her but wasn't involved in her murder. But McDaniel may have been watching that drama unfold, and he realized something. All that public chaos provided perfect cover for what he was planning to do anyway. The Facebook Live where Mia was called a setup queen, that wasn't McDaniel creating drama. That was organic beef between Mia and someone else. But investigators think McDaniel saw an opportunity. With all that public accusations and drama, her murder would look like street retaliation instead of what it really was, a calculated hit by a serial killer. The timing wasn't coincidence. McDaniel struck while everyone's attention was focused on the Facebook drama, using it as cover for his real motive. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. McDaniel's bank records showed deposits of several $1,000s in the weeks around Mia's murder. Similar deposits appeared before other homicides he's suspected of. Y'all, this dude was allegedly a contract killer. Someone was paying him to murder specific people. Mia Nixon was just a name on a hit list. Now the question becomes, who wanted Mia Nixon dead badly enough to hire a killer? Remember those drug trafficking charges she was facing? Her connections to certain social circles? Had she become a liability to someone? The Facebook Live drama was just convenient timing. It gave McDaniel the perfect cover to carry out a hit that was probably already planned. But here's the part that makes McDaniel so scary. Dude was allegedly efficient as hell. After shootings, he'd disappear like smoke. Minimal evidence, no witnesses, clean getaways. If it wasn't for ballistic evidence connecting multiple crime scenes, he might never have been caught. The shell casings from Mia's murder matched multiple other homicides. Same gun, same killer, same MO. When they arrested McDaniel, he showed no emotion, no remorse, no anger, no fear. Court observers said it was like watching someone go through a grocery checkout. That kind of detachment, that's serial killer behavior. The ability to turn violence on and off like a light switch. As of right now, McDaniel is facing charges in connection with up to 18 deaths. His case is working its way through the courts. But even with him locked up, the biggest questions remain unanswered. If he was a contract killer, who were his clients? Who specifically wanted Mia Nixon dead? And why did her murder happen to coincide with that Facebook Live drama? Because here's the thing. McDaniel might be the trigger man, but he's not the mastermind. Somewhere out there is the person who decided Mia Nixon needed to die and had the money to make it happen. The man who argued with her on Facebook Live, he's not the killer. He's probably not even connected to the murder, but the person who hired McDaniel, that person is still walking free. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, these setup queen allegations that got Mia killed. Because understanding what this means is crucial to understanding why she became a target. In street terminology, a setup queen is a woman who works with a crew to rob people. Here's typically how it works. She meets a target at a club or party, usually a dude flashing money, wearing expensive jewelry, driving a nice car. She flirts with him, acts interested, makes him think he's about to get lucky. While she's playing her role, she's texting her crew everything, where they're going, what the target's carrying, when to make their move. She convinces the target to leave with her, usually to somewhere private. His place, her place, a hotel, wherever she can get him isolated. Then her crew shows up. They rob him, sometimes beat him up, sometimes worse. The setup queen acts like she's a victim too, crying, screaming, acting shocked, so if anyone survives, she doesn't get blamed. It's a lucrative hustle if you can pull it off. One good setup can net thousands of dollars, especially if you target the right people. But it's also extremely dangerous, because eventually you're going to set up the wrong person. Someone who survives, someone who has connections, someone who decides to hunt you down. Now here's what's messed up about Mia's case. All these allegations about her being a setup queen, never proven. Not one victim came forward saying Mia set them up. Not one crew member got arrested who named her. No evidence she was actually doing this. But in the streets, rumors spread faster than facts. And once you get labeled a setup queen, that reputation follows you everywhere. The rumors about Mia seem to come from two main things. One, her ability to post that $40,000 bond when she got arrested. And two, her presence in certain social circles where this kind of activity was known to happen. But let's be real, there are legit explanations for both of these. The bond money could have come from family, savings from her beauty business, or loans from friends. $40,000 sounds like a lot, but if you got family willing to put up their house or car as collateral, it's doable. And being in certain social circles doesn't make you a criminal. Maybe she just knew these people socially. Maybe she dated someone who was involved in that life. Maybe she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But here's what's really telling. When you listen to that Facebook Live argument, Mia's responses don't sound like someone who got caught. She seems genuinely confused by the accusations. She's asking the dude to explain what he means, when this allegedly happened, who supposedly got set up. That's not how guilty people respond when they get called out. Guilty people deflect, change the subject, get defensive in specific ways. Mia sounded like someone hearing these accusations for the first time. But here's the tragic reality. In street justice, it doesn't matter if you're actually guilty. If enough people believe you're guilty, that belief becomes your death sentence. And social media makes it worse. One person makes an accusation online, and suddenly hundreds of people are sharing it, commenting on it, adding their own theories and evidence. Before you know it, a rumor becomes accepted fact, and accepted facts in the streets can get you killed. Mia Nixon might have died for crimes she never committed, killed by people who believe social media rumors over actual evidence. Think about that. A young woman with dreams and aspirations gunned down in her driveway because someone decided she was guilty without a trial, without proof, without even giving her a chance to defend herself properly. But here's the really twisted part. Her killer probably didn't even care if the rumors were true. McDaniel was allegedly a contract killer. He killed for money, not for justice. The setup queen allegations might have been just convenient cover for a hit that was already planned. And the saddest part, even if Mia had been involved in setup schemes, she didn't deserve to die for it. She deserved to face the legal system, to have her day in court, to have the chance to make things right. Nobody deserves to be executed in their driveway at 21 years old, no matter what they might have done. What happened to Mia Nixon represents something new and terrifying. How social media drama can provide perfect cover for premeditated murder. That Facebook Live wasn't the cause of her death, but it became the perfect camouflage for it. Think about how this played out. The man arguing with Mia on Facebook Live created public drama and accusations. Hundreds of people witnessed the conflict in real time. Everyone assumed her murder was connected to that argument. Meanwhile, the real killer, a suspected serial killer, used all that chaos as cover for what was likely a planned hit. This is a new kind of murder strategy. Let someone else create the public conflict, then strike while everyone's looking in the wrong direction. Here's what makes social media so dangerous in situations like this. Speed. A dispute can go from zero to deadly in minutes. No cooling off period, no time for intervention. Audience. Public accusations create peer pressure to respond and escalate instead of walking away. Permanence. Everything is recorded, screenshot, shared. Disputes don't fade, they get preserved and revisited. Coordination. Live platforms allow real-time planning of attacks while they're happening.
In Mia's case, that Facebook Live served multiple purposes, but not the way most people think. It provided misdirection. Everyone assumed the killer was connected to the argument. It created chaos, perfect cover for a professional hit. It established timeline. The killer knew exactly when and where to find her. And it gave false motive, making the murder look like street justice instead of a contract killing. The scariest part is this strategy worked perfectly. For over a year, everyone focused on the Facebook Live drama and the setup queen allegations. Meanwhile, the real killer, a suspected serial killer, flew completely under the radar. This strategy worked.
Investigators had no solid leads. The public nature of the accusations actually made it harder to identify the real killer, because there were so many potential suspects who had heard the allegations. McDaniel was able to hide in plain sight while everyone focused on the wrong suspect, the man from the Facebook Live, who had nothing to do with the actual murder. The precision of this attack is what finally gave him away. The ballistic evidence connecting multiple murders, the similar patterns across cases, the surgical efficiency of each killing. This wasn't passion or rage. This was business. Professional violence carried out by someone who had done it before and expected to do it again. Now think about how many disputes you see playing out on social media every day. Twitter beef, Instagram call-outs, Facebook drama, TikTok exposés. Most of the time it stays digital. People argue, block each other, move on with their lives. But sometimes, like with Mia, someone decides to bring that digital conflict into the physical world. And when that happens, people die. The line between online and offline has completely disappeared. Your digital life is your real life. The enemies you make on social media are real enemies. The threats you receive in DMs are real threats. Mia Nixon learned this the hardest way possible. She thought she was just defending herself in an online argument with someone who had beef with her. She had no idea that a completely different person, a suspected serial killer, was planning her murder and using that drama as cover. Here's what every young person needs to understand. When you have public conflicts online, you're not just dealing with the person you're arguing with. You're potentially attracting attention from predators who see opportunity in chaos. People who will use your drama as cover for their own violent plans. Social media has made us all potential targets. Every post is public. Every argument has an audience. Every conflict can escalate to violence with no warning. Mia Nixon's murder should be a wake-up call for everyone who thinks online drama stays online. It doesn't. And sometimes the real danger isn't even coming from the person you're arguing with.
2025, more than a year after Mia Nixon's murder, Birmingham police finally made an arrest. Damian McDaniel, 22, charged with murder, potentially connected to 18 other homicides. But even with a suspect in custody, this case raises more questions than it answers. At McDaniel's court appearances, Mia's family got their first look at the man accused of killing her daughter. Court observers described him as eerily calm, showing no emotion as the charges were read. For Mia's mother, it was a moment she'd been waiting for over a year, but seeing her daughter's alleged killer didn't bring the closure she'd hoped for. She just wants to know why. Why her baby? What'd she do to deserve this? Those are the questions that still haunt this case. Who hired McDaniel to kill Mia? Why was she specifically targeted? Was her murder even connected to the Facebook Live drama, or was that just convenient timing? The financial evidence suggests McDaniel was indeed a contract killer. Deposits in his accounts before multiple murders, including Mia's. Someone was paying him to kill specific people. But the identity of his client or clients remains unknown. Was it someone involved in Birmingham's drug trade who saw Mia as a liability? Was it connected to her pending charges and fears about what she might reveal? Was it completely unrelated to the setup queen allegations? The FBI has joined the investigation, recognizing that a potential serial killer operating across multiple jurisdictions requires federal resources. They're reviewing every case McDaniel might be connected to, looking for patterns, trying to identify other potential victims and clients. What's becoming clear is that McDaniel allegedly operated as a professional killer, efficient, emotionless, and very good at using chaos and misdirection to cover his tracks. The revelation that the man arguing with Mia on Facebook Live had nothing to do with her murder has forced investigators to completely rethink the case. For over a year, they focused on the social media drama. Meanwhile, the real killer was hiding in plain sight, part of a much larger pattern of violence across Birmingham. Birmingham's community response has been complex. Some residents express relief that a suspected serial killer is off the streets. Others are disturbed by how long he allegedly operated undetected. The revelation that social media drama can be used as cover for professional hits has shaken many people's sense of security. Local leaders have organized community safety meetings, but the message has evolved. It's not just about avoiding online conflicts. It's about understanding that predators can use any chaos as cover for violence. Pastor Johnson, who spoke at Mia's memorial service, put it this way: "Evil doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it hides behind the drama we create ourselves." As McDaniel's case moves through the courts, prosecutors are building cases on multiple fronts. Ballistic evidence connecting multiple crime scenes, financial records showing suspicious payments, digital forensics tracking his movements and communications, witness testimony placing him near various crime scenes. But the biggest challenge remains identifying who was paying him to kill. If you have any information about this case, Birmingham police and Crime Stoppers are still accepting tips. The reward has been increased to $10,000 for information leading to additional arrests. Because this isn't over. McDaniel might be locked up, but the person or people who ordered these hits are still out there. Still planning, still paying, still killing. Mia Nixon's murder was just one name on what might be a very long list.
Mia Nixon's murder should terrify every young person who thinks social media drama can't touch them in real life. Because what happened to her is happening more and more often. Digital conflicts becoming physical violence. Online accusations becoming death sentences. Let's break down the warning signs that everyone needs to recognize. Public accusations. When someone starts making serious allegations against you on public platforms, that's not just drama, that's potentially life-threatening. Public accusations create justification for violence and make you a target for anyone who believes them, escalating conflicts. If an online argument is getting more intense instead of cooling down, step away. Block the person, delete the post, get offline. Your pride is not worth your life. Meeting strangers. If someone you've been arguing with online suddenly wants to meet in person to talk it out, that's a massive red flag. Real mediation happens through neutral parties, not private meetings with people who've been threatening you. Late night contact. If someone reaches out to you after midnight, especially after a public confrontation, be extremely suspicious. Legitimate conversations can wait until morning. Killers prefer to work in darkness. But here's what's really scary. Mia did things that seemed reasonable in the moment. She defended herself when accused publicly. She engaged with someone who claimed to have information. She agreed to step outside to have a conversation. Any of us might have made the same choices. That's what makes this case so chilling. The setup queen allegations that got Mia killed highlight another dangerous trend, using unproven accusations to justify violence. How many people in your city have reputations for things they might never have actually done? How many rumors get repeated until they become accepted facts? How many young people are walking around with targets on their backs because of stories that might not even be true? Social media has created a world where anyone can accuse anyone of anything, and those accusations can spread to thousands of people instantly. No evidence required, no investigation needed. Just type it and post it, and suddenly someone's reputation is destroyed. And in some communities, destroyed reputations lead to violence. Here's what you need to do to protect yourself. 1. Document everything. screenshot threats, save messages, record interactions. If something happens to you, investigators need evidence. 2. Limit public arguments. Don't air serious disputes on public platforms. Handle conflicts privately or through proper channels. 3. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong about a situation, it probably is, even if it seems unrelated to your immediate problems. 4. Tell someone. If you're having online conflicts with people, tell family or friends what's happening. Don't handle it alone. 5. Know when to walk away. Sometimes the best response to online drama is no response. Block, delete, move on. If you're currently dealing with online threats or conflicts that are escalating, here's what to do right now. Contact local police and file a report. Even if they can't arrest anyone immediately, you're creating a paper trail. If you have any information about this case, Birmingham police and Crime Stoppers are still accepting tips. The reward has been increased for information leading to additional arrests. Because this isn't over. McDaniel might be locked up, but the person or people who ordered these hits are still out there. Still planning, still paying, still killing. Mia Nixon's murder was just one name on what might be a very long list. And somewhere out there, the person who wanted her dead is watching all this unfold, probably thinking they got away with it. They're wrong. Mia Nixon was 21 years old when her life was cut short in her own driveway. She was a daughter, a friend, a talented beautician with dreams of opening her own salon. She survived one shooting only to fall victim to another. She fought drug charges while building a legitimate business. She defended herself against rumors that may have been completely false. Her murder reveals the complex and terrifying new reality of violence in the social media age, where online drama can be weaponized by people who have nothing to do with the original conflict, where professional killers hide behind community chaos, where the most obvious suspect might be completely innocent. Today, Damian McDaniel sits in jail facing charges in connection with up to 18 murders across Birmingham. But the person who allegedly paid him to kill Mia is still free. The man who argued with her on Facebook Live, the person everyone assumed was the killer, had nothing to do with her death.
This case should change how we think about online safety. It's not just about avoiding conflicts or being careful what we post. It's about understanding that predators are watching, waiting, looking for opportunities to use our own drama against us. Mia's story is still being written. Her alleged killer is in custody, but justice isn't complete until we know who wanted her dead and why. If you found this deep dive into Mia's case valuable, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your support allows us to continue investigating cases like this, seeking truth beyond the headlines. Share this video to keep Mia's story alive. Comment with your thoughts, but please be respectful. Her family is still grieving, still seeking answers. And remember, in the age of social media, the dangers aren't always coming from where you expect them. Stay safe, stay aware, and never forget that behind every true crime story is a real person whose life mattered. Rest in peace, Mia Nixon. Your story will not be forgotten.